Hey guys! Alright, so whew, we have come to the end of the Bachelorette. And honestly, I bet a lot of you already know who was picked, but let's just take a walk down the same weird, twisted road I just took a walk down. Alright, so the show starts, and you've got the three boys left: Eric, Peter, and Brian. And as far as we know, she is just very in love with all of them. So Eric already had his date 2 weeks ago. We saw it one on one. It seemed to go great. There was a lot of talking, a lot of, really all the dates kind of seem to feel the same, except for this time, Peter's date was a little heavier because again it brought back up the question of, was he ready to propose, was he ready to get married, and he wasn't, he wasn't gonna, he wouldn't say yes, that he was ready to pop the question. Yes, he was ready to, marry her, but he maintains that he's in love with her, that he's fallen in love with her, that he cares deeply for her. He said he could even see them, living together, shopping, playing football, watching sports on TV, all that stuff. But he wasn't ready to say, I am ready to pop the question and spend the rest of my life with you. So that's kind of how their date was. And then we went to Brian, and during her and Brian's date, she's just kind of gone. Like, she's not really. First of all, this is a 3 hour special, you guys. I don't even think you understand. This was 3 hours long. It did not need to be. I don't know why ABC thought that was a good idea. 3 hours. I needed a professional juggler. I needed a performance by Beyonce, and the twins, and Blue Ivy, Jay-Z, Solange, the whole family. Everybody needed to come out and perform because 3 hours is a very long time. That's award show time, and it really. But back to this. So she's kind of distant on her date with Brian, and Brian can't help but notice, and he's like, so what's wrong? And she's like, what do you mean? Like, why would you think there's anything wrong? Girl, because the whole time that he's talking, she's like, they're like, and he calls her out on it, and she thinks it's so spectacular that he knows something's wrong with her. We all know something's wrong with you, boo. Like, we can see. And she even says this little thing on the couch talking about, every time I'm with Brian, I just can't help but smile. Like, she's saying that live. Even though literally we're looking at her and doing anything but smiling. I should have known then. I should have known then. Whatever. Anyway, so she goes into how it's just a really hard process. The same thing she's been saying this whole time about how it's hard to know where you want to be and there's so many choices, blah, blah, blah. But she apologizes and they get the date back on track. All right, so they all get to spend, they all spend their nights in the hotel together. Not the hotel, the fantasy suite. Which I have to say that Brian's fantasy suite was a lot cuter than Peter's, and I feel like ABC is like trying to rig the system here. Because whatever. Peter's suite looked like every girl's bedroom in like every movie. Like, it was weird. Anyway, it just wasn't that good. But so we move on, and then we're just talking, and she goes to have a talk with Peter. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, before that, we do the last rose. We do one more rose ceremony, and she doesn't pick Eric. She sends Eric home. My man Eric. And he comes out, on the live show, and he is looking good. His suit is nice. He's grown a little beard. I always liked Eric, but that beard is a nice touch on him. And I don't even really like facial hair that much, but the beard was nice. Anyway, he's mature. He's sweet. He's caring. He's everything. I love him. Whatever. So they're talking, and she's just like, oh, how was a really hard decision, and it means a lot to me that you told me you loved me, because I know that you haven't really done that, so that was really a lot for me to take in. And it's just, honestly, I'm kind of done hearing about how hard and how special and how much these things meant to her. Look, I'm a first timer for The Bachelorette, really. Well, I watched one episode of The Bachelor a long time ago. That was when Fernando Lamas' daughter was on there, and like they did the home visit. I just sort of stumbled across the episode and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I'm new here. So I don't know if every Bachelorette acts like this or every Bachelor acts like this, but I'm really done listening to how hard it is to turn these people away. Because you know what? The show just irritates me. The show irritates me because at some point you're going to break hearts and it just seems so fast and so fickle. And to say I love you and then to let you go. I'm still mad about what happened with Dean. I can't. But moving on. So Eric was sweet and he was calm and he, handled it like a man, like an adult, And so then we move on. So we're looking through the next few days. She has this talk with Peter. Yeah, this talk was so hard to decipher. It wasn't even funny. Like, okay, so everyone knows that Peter is on the whole, I'm not sure if I can give my whole life to you. I love you, but an engagement is a big deal. And we know that she's on the whole, I don't see what the big deal is. It's just a ring. It's not our rest of our lives. It's right now. No, it's not. That's not what an engagement is. Not in real life. But see, that's the thing. Peter is thinking in real life terms. And she's not. Like, I'm not saying she's silly or, I don't know what she is, but, she's playing the show. Because, I don't mean that to mean like she's insincere. I just mean that she's okay with the way this runs. She knows it has to be fast. She knows it has to be right now. And the engagement ring is what needs to happen. Regardless of all the feelings around it, that's what needs to happen. Peter can't play that game, which again, I don't really know why he came to the show, but I understand him completely. He's not ready to take that big of a leap to say, I want to marry you, because I just met you. Come on, let's be honest. It's been 7 weeks. It's been, and it's not even a full straight 7 weeks, not just the two of us. It's been a whole bunch of people, like all these guys, and you really shouldn't expect someone to be ready to marry you after that kind of time and after this much. So, basically, she says, I want a proposal because I want to know that you want to commit to me. He says, I want to commit to you, but I don't want to propose to you because I don't know if I want to spend the rest of my life with you. She says, I can't accept that. You're not making any sense to me, Peter. He says, what I'm trying to say is I love you. I want to be with you. I want to do things with you. I want you to be with me. I want us to be happy together. I want us to grow. I want us to build. I don't want to give you the ring today because, let's be honest, I don't know you. He didn't say that, but that's kind of, And she's like, well, but basically she gets all of that, but I need you to take that risk. The risk is me leaving here with you and chilling. And okay, I get it. She's like, well, if we don't get engaged, how am I supposed to know if we're ever going to get engaged? How are you supposed to know if it's going to rain tomorrow? I don't know. That's a bad analogy. Neither of will just will tell you. But you know what I mean. Honestly, what it came down to was so stupid because, see, then he said, okay, I'll propose to you if that's what you want. I just don't want to lose you. Well, now you're just proposing me out of fear. And I get that. But again, here's what it came down to. She's not hearing the words the way she wants to hear them. And that's not enough. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that after I tell you the end of this. But they just keep going back and forth and they can't agree on anything. And Peter's like, well, then you have to walk away from me. She is bawling. She is crying. She is having a fit. She's crying so much. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And he's so honest. He's straightforward. I see people on my Twitter saying, oh, he doesn't know what he wants. He has been pretty straightforward for the past few episodes or days or whatever. And he's like, here's what I want. I want you, but I don't want to propose to you right now because that's just not realistic. And she's like, and he even was gonna bend for her, propose, and just, take it slow anyway. But if the ring was if she needed that sort of leap to understand that he was serious, he was ready to make it. She was not. She didn't want any parts of that though. So she leaves. She's such a wreck. She cried her eyelashes off. Her eyelashes are on the floor. I'm sitting in my couch waiting, okay, but there's a plot twist, right? That's not the end of it, right? So they bring Peter out to the live show. He sits down there and he talks to her, and yeah, she's kind of shady, to be honest. If just what I see, that's how I felt. And he's just like, I really cared about her. I really love her. I have love for her. I have a lot of feelings for her, and it's really hard. And she's just like, Yeah, it is. And she's just kind of trying to act like, oh, meanwhile, while they're talking, and like she was basically saying, I have someone who's ready to propose to me, and like, okay, he's not trying to hear that. He's like, well, go have a mediocre life with them because I would give you anything. Well, of course, again, you can't tell the future, Peter. You don't know that you would give her anything. But he does know that he really does care about her. But she, whatever. So they put that back, and now she's feeling some type of way because he said that, and he apologizes for her, but she's just like, I'm just living my life, or this is the life I'm in. I don't know, some weird comment that just was not necessary because at the end of the day, his heart, you can tell, has been broken because she just wasn't hearing it. She wasn't hearing him, and so whatever. At the end of the day, I just think it was a mess that could have been avoided if she had just bended a little. And it's not even a big bend because the girl was crying so hard she left her eyelashes there. She, she the way she talked about Peter, the way Peter talked about her, it just seemed so real. Whereas Brian, again, I don't want to knock Brian so much because honestly, I don't know. Even though he has all the right answers and he just comes off slick, that doesn't mean he is. He could be a great man. But here's what I don't like. Now, she had the big emotional display and all those emotions. More emotions in that breakup than the emotions in the proposal that Brian gave her the next day. He asked her to marry him, and she was super excited. Yeah, but it just didn't feel as deep. I honestly, you can't give me a rose after just yesterday, knowing that I was still around, knowing that I hadn't left you, knowing you could come to me if I was the one you wanted. You cried your eyes out on that man's floor, left your eyelashes, begged him to reconsider. Because I mean, if nothing else, that says that if he had just said the magic words before it got to that point, it would have been him. This is why I don't belong on this show because my insecurity would be through the roof. Because how do you ever know? And there is no way you could just cry like that, beg like that for somebody to come to you, and then when they say I can't do what it is you're asking me to do, say, okay, Brian, I want you. Like I cannot. It was too much. It was just the amount of emotions she had for Peter just cannot be turned off. And I think that's why she seemed a little standoffish tonight because it's too much. No one should be putting themselves through this. I honestly have a big problem with the whole idea of this show at this point. I'm going to stick to short-term relationship shows like Love Connection, where it's not like you're trying to get married, you're just trying to find somebody to go out with, because this is a mess. So she picks Brian, but I can't help but feel like it's a rebound. I can't help but feel like it's about the ring. And I don't mean like she's a gold digger, because it's no. And I don't mean like she just wants a shiny diamond. I mean, I think she came to the show with the goal. The goal was to find a fiance. The goal was to get a proposal. The goal was to have the ring, because it signifies the whole, that's the completion. That's where you're supposed to be at the end of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, is to get a ring or to give a ring, etc., whatever. I feel like having that goal in mind made her, it was like a blinder. And so when Peter says, I don't think I can give you a ring, but I want to be with you, I want to build with you, I want to work with you, I want to love you, I want to, I want you to be mine, she doesn't, if it didn't start off with, I'm going to get down on one knee and say all of this to you, she doesn't see it. Because tonight on the live show, when she was with Brian, they were like, oh, have you set a date? When are you going to get married? Oh, I know I want a winter wedding, but right now we're taking it slow. We're just trying to build and see where it takes us. What? That's what that's, oh my gosh, that's what Peter wanted. That's what Peter asked for. The only difference is he wasn't going to give you a ring to go with it, because a ring is more than saying, hey, I think I like you, let's see more. The ring, he was, and then, oh, how do I know we're going to get married? Just because you have a ring in your finger doesn't mean you are ever going to marry that man. People stay engaged for 10 and 20 years. It is no different than what Peter wanted from you. But you had a goal and a bullseye, and if he wasn't right on target, it wasn't enough. That's how I feel. That's what I feel happened. And again, I don't know her, I don't know Brian, I don't know Peter, I don't know Dean, I don't know Kenny, I don't know any of them. But that's what it felt like, and that's why I was just so aggravated. And so many other Americans, I don't know, whoever watches the show was aggravated. Like, if you were on Twitter at the time, I mean, we all lost it. And to see that they kept us here for 3 hours, first of all, was a mess anyway. But to see that she went ahead and picked that boy, even after the display with Peter, was just mind-boggling, and it's kind of annoying. And I don't know. I hope that they're happy. I wish them the best. I hope to either see Peter or Eric as the next Bachelor. But I don't know, girl. Like, it's just, and if I were Brian, I would be a little, all that crying you just did, and then come for me. Ew. You know, like, have you ever seen Yaya's Sisterhood? And he's like, I know I can't be the lead, but I just want to play in the band. I don't want to play in the band, alright? I want to be the person that you were hoping for. Which is, again, why I couldn't come on it, why I don't see why anybody could come on a show like this, because there is no guarantee that you are the person they're looking for, even if yesterday they said that they were pretty sure you were. Well, this was 16 minutes, but I had to get this out. And this is obviously going to be the last video in this series of Bachelorette videos. It was crazy, y'all. And 16 minutes is nothing compared to the 3 hours they put me through. So, please enjoy. The winner of the show was Brian. He proposed twice, actually. He proposed again on the live show. Whatever. It was kind of weird. He didn't really need to do that, but Brian and Rachel, everybody. Ugh. Jeez. I was so gone, I forgot to say bye. Bye! One more thing. On Twitter, I did a little poll, and I said, that's all, folks. The Bachelorette finale. Are you pissed off or pleased? Are you pissed off or pleased with the results? Yay, Rachel and Brian has 10% of the votes, and This Is Terrible has 90% of the votes out of 51 votes. You guys can still go on my Twitter. I'll drop the link below. Come on, there's got to be a better way. There you go. You guys can still go on my Twitter and vote. And it's going to stay up for another 22 hours. Alright, guys. Bye. For real this time. Bye. Bye.